All right.
All right, let's go to work.
Absolute Batman number 5.
Stop singing.
Yeah, that's right. We got a comic. We're doing a movie and a
Oh,
comic.
what?
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that last issue was basically a filler issue. Talk about killing the momentum, right?
Mm-hmm.
The story is at a linchpin moment. You're like, oh my God, let's give you a filler issue, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And we talked about how issue 1 through 3, it was 1, 2, and 3 of 5.
Yeah.
In issue number 4, it was simply part 4, the zoo. In this one, it's simply part 5, the zoo. I'm willing to bet that number 6 is part 6 of 6,
Yeah.
the zoo. Okay, because you had to put a filler. So I kind of can't forgive you for it, except for the fact this one. I know you're gonna be like, well, the other one, the other two involve an alien, civilization, and also like hell and like demons and shit. But this is the one. This book is the one that I have to suspend my disbelief most for. I know you're like, why? Because it's trying to be gritty and real, and it's so far off the mark. Look, I don't give a fuck what you're trying to do, Scott Snyder, but nobody's going to be able to murder that many people and shit and not, like, have the fucking National Guard come down on your... I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care what... The end of the book, and we'll get to that, but just enough of this shit, right? Enough of this fucking... Oh, these guys just go out and murder, like, 12 people on a night, and there's, like, 8 packs of them every night. Fucking, there's no people left in Gotham, because they're all dead. You fucking... You gotta look ahead and start thinking about your numbers and go, this is unsustainable, okay? So, Scott, I gotta tell you, you are way over the fucking board with this shit, all right? I get you're trying to make a statement and a point, but you are doing it to the detriment of the story because all I can think about is how you can't fucking do math, bruh. So, having said that,
Wow.
look, because I don't care how you set it up on a giant fucking spotlight, you're not gonna get those little edges and shit that make it look like a bat when it's actually shown in the sky. You're just gonna get a big block of fucking black in the middle of the fucking thing, okay? So you gotta suspend your disbelief for that. Who's lighting it on fire? Did you see anybody lighting it on fire? Did he click something?
He
does?
He
Okay.
clicks the detonator.
Okay, all right, well, great. Other than all that bullshit, I really like how he decided to answer the question of are you in or not with the black mask, Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then here I have a problem. Bruce Wayne is not fucking RoboCop.
I was going to talk about this.
And there's a moment in RoboCop, I think you know where I'm going, where he can't kill or arrest Dick Jones.
Yeah.
So that's when like Ed 209 comes out and fucks him up, and then the cops fuck him up, right? And he just keeps falling, right?
Yeah.
It seemed like that, didn't it? Because he goes to a fucking parking garage. That's why. But no way anybody survives that. I don't care what kind of gadgets you have, okay? And then they show him later getting patched up, and he's got like Band-Aids all over himself and like a sling. And I'm like, you're dead. You are dead. You've been dead since
Internal
like
bleeding.
You've been dead. Yeah, you've been dead since they stabbed you the 6th time while you were under that net. You were dead before they even threw you off the building, dude. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with Scott Snyder not understanding that there is a level of violence that I cannot suspend my disbelief for because I'm too of the world, man. I know enough about real shit because I've read about it and whatnot that like real violence is really fucking like
you're not gonna get stabbed that many times and fall from that height. You're with a broken arm.
Yeah, first your arm's gonna get broken. You're going into shock right away. Boom, that's it. You're done. It doesn't matter if you get stabbed a bunch more times and how much blood they show him losing and shit. Like fuck off, dude.
And then
like
falling, even though his cape makes a parachute, he still lands on a car,
which looks flimsy. Yeah, and he breaks the car. Right? You get what I'm saying? Like other than that, like I like the story. I'm almost ready to forgive them for the filler issue. I'm not sure where they're going at the end of this, which is, oh, hey, let's see if we can get all of Gotham's citizens in on this. I don't know that the art at the end kind of gives me the idea that actual citizens are actually opening these boxes or not, because the art is not very clear.
It just shows you that Gordon has it.
We've apparently completely just written off his buddies, who are the villains of Gotham normally, and Selena Kyle's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I didn't even know that. Was Barbara Gordon in the story before?
Yeah, briefly.
Okay, briefly,
Like,
but now she's like a big part of it.
Yeah,
like,
she had been sprinkled in here and there.
Scott, man, you.
Well, this is the problem. So, you also, I think, this is the problem of understanding that. Oh yeah, this is going to be a monthly series, because I think he has put those characters away and saves them for later shit.
Sure.
And he's like, okay, I got to wrap up this with Black Mask.
Right. Which
okay.
he doesn't. He fails to do.
Fine. No.
Anyway.
But fine. But like you're saying, here's the issue I have
with the issue.
Like, very similar to my gripes with it are very similar to yours, in a sense that yes, at a certain point you have to question how many citizens are left.
Yeah.
And then the other thing you have to question is that you really think people would be so disillusioned. And I think that's what Scott Snyder is setting up, is the fact that he's going to make this offer and a good percentage of the population of Gotham doesn't accept it and sides with Batman. And that's going to change because the whole setup in this was Gordon is down because of the election and everything. And she says, his advisor says that, trust that there will be bad people that do bad things, but also people can surprise you and be good.
That's Bruce Wayne's mom.
Right, Martha. How do you know that name? So to me, that's obviously setting up the fact that in issue number 6, that okay, Batman was right, and people are still like, even though like he's offering this money, that's still like they're a bunch of vicious killers that have victimized a lot of. That's another thing too. The arrogant, I get that he's a villain, so I love the arrogance of Roman to just suggest that, okay, well, people are going to go along with this. Not even thinking the fact that just based on population, he's probably killed a lot of these people's loved ones. Again, just based on numbers. I don't know how big Gotham is as a fictional city.
Right. I mean, you.
But you're right. There is a certain level of escalation that you have to apply to the story before it gets a little out of hand. Because, yeah, at this point, with that evidence, he's a domestic terrorist. He would have been fucking murdered.
Yes.
By the end of this issue, he is shot dead by the U.S. government. He's gone. But then I remember I'm reading a Batman book, so that's fine.
Yeah,
you're right. I agree with you. There takes a lot of suspension of disbelief sometimes because there's a problem tonally where, but just like you said, while I have some issues with it tonally, I cannot deny the absolute cool shit in this book. I'm sorry, man. I'm a Batman stan. You know this.
Look. Here's why I think it's ridiculous that I'm saying
bonkers shit. I love
that
it.
This is the one I have to suspend my disbelief for. Because in case you forgot, the Absolute Superman book deals with a alien civilization which is gone now, and a true life alien visitor to our planet, and demons and hell, and like giant kaiju. So, yeah, you're like, how the fuck is this one? It's because I got to be honest, Snyder, you should have written this out and said it out loud to somebody. So they should have been, so that somebody I know would have been like, dude, that's a lot. Are you sure you're doing that right?
But I can't deny how cool the book looks and like how some really cool moments happen. I mean, But I see what you mean with the suspension of the disbelief, because in this very series, he took an elevator shaft and turned it into a fucking car.
Right.
And then into a bike.
Look, they haven't done enough with this. And then again,
so
the fucking giant.
Much like my gripes with movie theaters.
Yes.
Here we go. Big moment, character moment. Gordon is talking, and he's like, I'm not sorry that they're lighting because of all this shit that's, because of all this crazy shit. But when you see Bruce, tell him I said so, because please... DC All In, all
in 2025, new characters, brand new creators.
What the fuck?
I fucking don't
And then
know.
the last line, that's really what stings, is what he's saying.
What was he talking about? I had to deal with a 2-page fucking ad. Jerks.
But like when he gets the money from Roman and he lights it on fire and it turns into the bat signal, I'm sorry, that shit's cool to me.
Look, the idea
I'm
behind
a Batman fanboy.
the idea behind most of it is great, but I gotta be honest, man. The fact that you basically made him you made him Black Mask's bitch. I mean,
Not really, because he had Black Mask.
he does nothing. He fights off a couple party animals and then he gets knifed a bunch of times.
Stop.
His arm broken.
Stop. He beats the fuck out of Roman. Roman only gets the upper hand because they shoot him with a net. He beats the shit out of Roman while he's beating the shit out of the other goons.
He's fighting just a bunch of party animals. He doesn't get near fucking Roman. He doesn't get near Roman.
Yeah, again, that's my point. He doesn't make him Roman's bitch. Roman only gets the upper hand because he got him with a net.
I'm saying that, I mean, he doesn't get to touch Roman at all. That's bullshit. Fuck that shit.
This was pretty cool.
Tired of your shit.
Well, again, I love how Snyder is flipping it on its head again and saying, like, I don't need all the tech and the computers and all that. I just need Batman. Like, that's it. I just need me.
I could use some tech.
But it also plays to this Bruce being a cocky, like, this is why Roman...
A cocky idiot?
There are shortcomings of this book, but I think Scott is nailing what he's trying to do with Bruce and Roman in matching their arrogance and fighting each other and having the opposition, but both being cocky. Where like this was stupid. Batman fucked this up. He shouldn't have done this,
dude. When
he shoots the spikes on that big.
Yeah, I was just gonna say when the dude. So from issue 1, the guy who he cut his hand off and said, "Hey, the hospital's that way." He gets back at him and he jumps on the back of him and he's like, "Payback time!" And he just makes the cape go and it's really funny because they're trying to fight him and you're like, "Get me off him." Which is pretty great. Yeah, there's some dope fucking parts. Don't get me wrong. It's just, look, overall, man.
Oh, my God. When they try and snipe him and he pings the fucking bullets off the cape.
Overall.
No, this is great because you have to have this moment of him hitting a low before the next issue.
Does it say to be continued or concluded? Because sometimes it'll say that at the end of the book.
But I agree. The whole sequence is the problem I have with it. As badass and cool as all that was, he gets lit on fire.
Yes,
we forget about that.
Right.
So he grabs Roman and plants the thing on him. The
right. Oh,
the bug.
That was worth it.
Gets his arm snapped, and then he goes, "That's what I needed. You just committed all this shit." And he's like, "That's when Roman's like, do you really think you've achieved anything?" And then you see the signal burning up from the burned money. That's his bat signal. That was cool. And then you see they break off the ear.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I think she takes the knife out of his cowl and stabs him with it. Yeah, it's the
ear
because he had those knives. Yeah.
They stab him with it a bunch of times.
A bunch of times.
And then light him on fire.
Yes.
And then
after they've snapped his arm in half,
hit him in the chin with his hammer.
Yep.
And then he falls off this giant building, but he does a flimsy parachute that eventually breaks and he lands on a car. Then he gets shot at, and that car that he was on explodes. Keep in mind, this Batman is just a dude.
Yeah, he doesn't have...
Somehow gets up, crawls into a parking garage, then gets hit by Barbara Gordon, and then eventually hobbles his way into the sewers. It's a great moment, too, when he's like, "You can stop me. Go ahead, shoot. Get me." And she doesn't. She lets him go.
Give me.
So, yeah, that is hard to accept. First of all, with the thing that Alfred finally catches up to him, Alfred should have just said, "How the fuck are you alive?" It should have been the first things that come out of his mouth.
Right.
Because none of that makes any sense.
So, again, at the end, it says to be continued. So, I mean, I can only assume that I'll say this. If 6 is another filler issue because they couldn't just get their shit together, because that's what I'm guessing. From what I understand, each one of these first books was supposed to have a 5-issue arc.
I don't know if that said that anywhere. I don't know. Just convention.
Let's just say this: we got Wonder Woman and Superman to go before we get to number 6 because we have to get number 6. And if it's another filler issue, I'm done with it.
Yeah,
I'm fucking done with it, dude. I can't get behind a book that doesn't know how to schedule its shit. Doesn't know how to get it right.
And they're going to be like, damn, we lost Tyler Allen.
Damn, we lost Tyler Erlin. He was hanging on for dear life. But then we took that corner too fast, and now he's rolling on down the hill. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.